A small recap. Today we were discussing about what was the topic yesterday? Today it was constructor chaining. We have understood, right? And we have spoken about the difference between instance and the static variables, right? And we know what is an instant variable. So we also know what is a static variables, and we also know its context, right? So when to use instance and when to use static variables. And apart from this, we have started discussing about this keyword. This keyword with respect to with respect to the what we call it as, we want to transfer the value from the local variable to the class level variable. Usually we use this keyword in the constructor. Okay, second one is this keyword can be used to call another constructor. So this is one of the concepts in the constructor chaining. I have discussed this as well yesterday, right? So this was all about yesterday session. But today we will understand the third one, right? What third one says with respect to this keyword, you can pass the current object as a parameter. So what does it really mean, passing current object as the parameter? Right? When I say passing current object as a parameter, for example, let us say that I have designed a method public m1. Okay, the name of the method is m1 method, and this m1 method is part of what? It is part of student class, right? For some reasons, I just want to pass the student reference as an object, student type as a parameter, for some reasons. Okay, instead of m1, let me take it as a display method. Okay. For some reasons, I want to pass the student type as a parameter, right? And let us say that I have only two instance variables. One is of string type. Let us say it is something like name equal to let's say Balaji, and one is string location equal to something like Chennai. I have two instance variables and I have a display method, right? So display method is accepting a parameter which is of student type, right? So what I do, okay, this is the student type parameter. What does it really mean is, inside this I'm going to have a statement like System.out.println. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, sir. System.out.println, right? Okay, I just extract, okay, s.name, yes, system.out.println. So I just use this reference variable to extract the detail, to extract the actual information which is there inside the object, s.location. So this is the requirement, right? This is what pass the object reference as a parameter. Passing the object reference as a parameter. This is what it does means actually, right? Now if I create an object for this, how do we usually create an object? Okay, we use class name student s equal to new student. Object is created. I just want to call the display method. How the display method can be called? Okay, this is the reference, right? S is the reference. The s dot display. Okay, this display method is accepting the student type, right? So I will pass the same reference here. Yes. Making sense? I am going to pass the same reference here. Yes. This is what it does mean, passing current object as a parameter, right? Let us see this in the example. Let us say that I have a college class, right? My college class, I am going to have something like string name of the college RMK, okay, and string location of the college. Let us say something like Chennai. Okay, two parameters, and I am going to have a method like void display method. Okay, this display method is accepting the student type as an argument. student type as an argument. Inside this, I just want to print something like, c.name as c dot location, right? So the moment I start creating an object, college c equal to new college, so I just want to call the display method c dot, right, display method, which is accepting the reference as the argument itself. C has to be passed as an argument because the display method is expecting a value which is of the college type, right? You need to pass a reference which is of the college type. Run this piece of code, right? You get what? Get RMK and Chennai, right? So this reference is being passed here, right? And you are extracting the name information and you are extracting the location information, which has the values like RMK and Chennai, right? So what then? Where are we going to use this keyword with respect to this topic? Let us say that I have another method like something like void print. Of the method is void print method. Okay, inside this print method, I want to collage this information. I want to call this display method. Okay, I can just use display method instead of keeping the type as college C. I can just use this keyword. I can just use this keyword. After this, I will be having a statement, right? Printing the above details. Right now, same object I am creating here. Okay, after creating the same object, so what I am trying to do here is, okay, I just call what? I just called c dot print method. I just call c dot print method. If I see, you get output like RMK Chennai printing the above details. So what is exactly happening behind it? Well, quickly I will get you through the let's start focusing from the main method. Okay, during the compilation, wherever if you find anywhere, if the compiler is finding this keyword anywhere, system is finding this keyword anywhere, it means this is not replace this this keyword. It is going to replace this keyword with the current class name reference. As simple as that. Actually, we have seen for the constructors that this keyword can be replaced with the current class constructor name, right? But here it is going to get replaced with current class name. So the type is going to be, this is what the type of the current class, right? So first statement is what? First statement is very clear. Object is getting created. Okay, new keyword is going to create an object, and the reference variable is going to be C, right? And this is going to allocate memory for the instance variables, which is what RMK for name and Chennai for location. Chennai for location. So far things are good, right? The first line has been completed, and the respective constructor will be called. Respective constructor will be called. There is no constructor here, so there will be a default constructor that will be placed by the compiler. We have seen these things yesterday. Compiler will place a default constructor, college. Okay, so this no instructions will be there inside the default constructor that get executed. The control flow will be executing this and coming back. The next statement, the very next statement is what? C dot print method you are calling, right? C dot print method. So where is the print method? Okay, this is the print method. This is the print method, right? This is the print method. What is the first instruction inside the print method? Okay, display this. Display, you are passing this as an argument, which means indirectly you are passing this reference as an argument. Indirectly you are passing the C type as an argument. It is accepting the C type as an argument. It is accepting the college type as an argument, right? You are calling a method inside another method. Print is a method. Inside that method you are calling a display method. From here the control will be transferred to the display method, right? This display method is going to carry what? Object reference, which is what? C itself, right? What is C? So this is C, right? From C you are extracting what? You are extracting C dot name, which is RMK, C dot location, which is what? Which is Chennai. That is getting printed. Then the remaining statement, which is what? Print the above details. Typically, wherever this keyword is found inside a method call, right, inside a parameter, as a parameter inside a method, okay, remember that this is nothing but the current class type. Replace that with the current class type. Making sense? You do not have to break yet on this. Okay, just practice this. Nowhere we are going to, there are least chances that you will come across this kind of situation. Okay, but for the information purpose, I will giving this to you. It's better to get practice. Okay, this is one of the areas where this keyword is used. Can we proceed? Can I get yes from everyone? Yes, no?
Yes, sir. No.
Okay. Now you see next important thing is, now this is somewhat interesting. Okay. Can someone tell me what would be the output? Now what is output now? Can anyone tell me quickly?
A will be print unlimited times.
Correct. A will be printed unlimited times, huh? Why so?
Yes. It is calling display method, no, sir, again.
Yeah, it is directly calling display method. So only one instruction is there in display method. Output is only A, no? The calling,
Yes.
this display is part of another method. I mean, this is the method call, which is part of another method. You're not calling print method here. You're calling display method. Very straightforward. This method will get executed. Output is here, right? Now, when I say, now tell me what would be the output. When I say C dot print, now what would be the output? Which method will be called first? Tell me that. Print method will be called. Yes or no?
AB will
AB will be printed. Why AB will be printed? See, AB is getting, why AB is getting printed? Inside the print method, you are calling another instance method, right? Another non-static method, display method. Right? The first display method is getting executed. After executing this display method, the remaining instruction is what? B. That is going to get executed. Okay? You can call this way, or else you can simply use this dot display. Both are same. So this is one of the areas where you can use this keyword. Making sense? Both are going to fetch you the same answer. AB, right? You can call the display method without using this keyword, but if you use this keyword, you're being very specific. Yes, I just want to call this display method. You're just trying to tell the compiler that you're very much specific that the display method has to be called. Okay, it is very much readable here. Making sense, yes or no? You're specifically saying that the display method of the current class has to get executed. You are being very specific. Sometimes what happens, why now, let us say that this class is extending to, college is extending to A. This is extending to another class, okay, and there are high chances that this display method can also there in be the parent class, right? So run this piece of code. Output is AB. You are specifically saying that the display method, execute the display method of the current class, because you can see the display method in the parent class, even though that is overridden. Even if you remove this, it is going to fetch you the same result. But how to be very specific? This means the current class display method, this class display method, that specification you are giving it to the compiler. Making sense or no? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Like if you see, now see what happens. Now what is happening? CB. Now you are also very specific. How we are telling, how we are conveying this to the compiler. You're saying it to the compiler like, compiler, I have two display method. One display method is there in the child class. Second display method is there in the parent class. Okay, I want you to execute the display method which is inside the parent class. So use super keyword. Right? Super keyword is what? Parent class display method. Execute the parent class display method. Being very specific. If you use this keyword, execute the child class specific method. Can you tell me what would be the output?
Error.
Why error?
Because we cannot understand the
Very good,
statement.
very good, very good that you are you have understood that concept. But that concept is applicable only for constructors, not for the methods. Are you getting? Confusing, huh? This and super keyword cannot be together inside the constructor. But here we are dealing with Java methods. No, for methods there are no such rules. All is getting my point,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
right? Sir, can we use this any number of times? No such rules. No such rules will be applicable for method. But when it comes to constructor, those rules are applicable only for the constructor, not for the Java methods. Why I am explaining all this? Because we are talking about this keyword. So in this context, okay, what was the theory that I have given here? Allow, this one. Access current class method. Using the display method, you would access the current class display method. Because there are high chances that in the parent class also display method would be there. I do not want to execute the parent class display method. I want to execute the current class display method. This is how you can be very specific. Can we proceed to the next topic? Yes, no? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Only Sudhir and Balaji opening the mouths, huh? Others are typing or not? Now you see last one. Allows method chaining. Question. This is very popular. You don't get this question in interview rooms very often. Method chaining. If you're answering, if you by chance if you get this question and if you're able to answer this question, they will not ask any other question. They will confirm that you are very good in Java. In Java, they will not ask any question. What is method chaining? Method chaining is nothing but chaining a method. Sir, what is a chaining method? We'll understand this with a small example. Okay, we do not have to deal with the parent class anymore. It's not even required. We will keep the name of the class as college class. I have my college name as RMK, location as Chennai. Same class I am taking. Okay, I am taking two builder methods or two setters. Okay, let me remove this. I have just given the declaration, not the implementation. Okay, what I want to do, I am building a method, not the constructor. I am building a method to set values to this name variable and the location variable. Yeah, the name of the method is s.name, okay, which is going to accept the string as an parameter. Inside this, I use this keyword, this dot name equal to name. Okay, since this is a local variable, the variable name is same. This is a class level variable, the variable name is same. I receive the value inside the local variable. I want to transfer that to the class level variable. So in this context, I'm using this keyword to transfer the value to the class level variable. Done. The next thing is void set location. Here I am using what? Location. Location. Okay. Instead of void, I just want to return what? I want to collect the value string. Instead of void, I want to collect the value as string. Let me name it as public. Name it as public. Okay. So not string. I'm sorry, not string in college. College. I want to return the college. I want to return the college. Right. Since I'm returning, I have the college as a return type. I need to return what? I need to return the college itself. So I will be using return this. I will be using return this. I will help you with the tracing. A quick recap what I have done till now. I have two variables. Okay, I want to assign values to these variables in the runtime. I'm not depending upon the constructor. This time I'm going to depend upon methods. Okay, I have the set name as a method. I have set location as a method. The methods are accepting one string arguments, right? And the return type of the method is college itself. I'm collecting this value. I'm assigning to the class level variables. I'm collecting location and I'm assigning to the class level variables. After this last statement is return this. I am saying return this. I am saying. Right. Okay, after this, okay, I'm going to have a method like public void display method System.out.println. The name of the college is s.name. System.out.println. And the location is thing like plus now let's start the execution. Object creation is necessary. C college C equal to new college. Okay, I will not end this. I will say dot get name. I will say RMK. Again, I will say dot get location. Okay. I would say location is what? 9. Okay. With the help of this reference variable, okay, I call what? I call display method. Okay, now you see the output. Okay, this should be location, guys. My mistake. Huh? Name of the college is RKM, location is Chennai. Next, in the next, the next object creation, I am saying C1 here. Okay, C1. Okay, I am changing the college name as MGR. Let us say the location is Hyderabad. Hyderabad. C1.display. See, college name is RMP, location is Chennai. So what I'm trying to say, this is what we call it as what the method chain. Method chain. Hyderabad spelling wrong. Okay. Let's quickly trace this, then we can conclude. Right. Always remember, in any class, always try to count how many instance variables are there, because those variables get the memory allocation, right? Secondly is just try to trace how many methods are there. Here you have what? You have 3 methods. This is one method, this is another method, and this is another method. Now try to differentiate between these methods. Even you have main method, I'm ignoring the main method here. Apart from the main method, you have 3 methods, right? Try to differentiate these methods, okay? This is the ordinary non-static method. The moment you find something like return this, it means these are the chaining methods. These both methods are participating in the method chaining. These both methods are going to participate in the method chaining. Whenever you see a pattern like this, okay, Okay. The return type has to be same as the class name. Return type has to be same as the class name, and the last line of the method, if you see like return this, it means there is a pattern. This is called as what? These two methods are participating in the method chain. This is not participating in the method chaining because no such things are here. First thing, okay, this should match. Okay, college and this should match. Okay, when you are using this, the return type should be the name of the class. Okay. What is ideally happening when you start seeing the execution? The first instruction is what? For the new keyword, okay, you are doing what? You are just the memory gets created, right? After the memory creation, you have the name variable, and it is going to allocate memory for the instance variable name and the location. In the beginning, it is going to be null. Okay, after this, what is happening here? A chain is getting formed. New college dot set name. Okay, directly the set name method is getting invoked. You are passing the argument as RMK. You're passing the argument as what? RMK. Right? This RMK will be transferred from the local variable to the class level variable. So name will be RMK. Okay. Returning this means method chaining. Again, set location. Okay. Chennai is being passed as an argument. Right. So where is the set location method? The set location. Right. What is the argument that is being passed? Chennai is argument that is getting assigned to this local variable. This variable is getting transferred from here to the instance variable, which is Chennai. So in the memory, null will be replaced with Chennai. Right? That's a method chaining is done. You are just stopping it here. After this, you are calling what? C.display method. So this is what? This C. Right? You are calling what? C.display method. Where is the display method? So this is the display method that I am talking about. Display method, what is spreading? The name of the college is the value inside the name variable, which is RMK. The name of the location is the value inside the location variable, which is Chennai. Why these values are considered? Because you are calling the display method on top of C reference variable, right? So this is the C reference variable. The value inside this will be executed. Making sense what I'm trying to say? Yes, no? First thing is identify if there is any method chaining. If you find any methods that are mean to be chained, right? You can create an object in a single line for all the you can set the values for all the instance variables using this method chain. But typically no one is using this approach. Everyone are going with the constructors. Right? This is one of the ways that where to do the method chaining, to go forward, you go for this keyword. Okay, this is all about this keyword. Okay, we have completed all the 5 ways to use this keyword. Shall we proceed with the next topic? Yes, no? If you're getting any doubt, you can repeat this video. No worries, you can repeat this video, or you can ignore this also if you do not want to break your head. But I recommend you to go through this video once again. Next one is static context. This is very interesting. Okay. Let me remove all this. Remove all this. I have only one college method. Now look at the beauty of static context. When I say static context, okay, there are almost 3 main topics come under static context. One is static blocks. Okay. Second one is static variables. We have discussed about static variables yesterday. The third one is static methods. So we will see some problems also on top of this. What is a static block? Okay. Any block with a static keyword is a static block. Any block which is a block with a static keyword is called static block. What is the purpose? Okay, let me create a static block here. static. This is static block. I can have some instructions here. So this is my static. Now what would be the output if I run this code? Execution starts from the main method.
This is my static.
What about others? Any idea? No idea. Whatever it is, idea or no idea? Chat box, please. Idea or no idea? No idea. No good answer. Okay, whatever it is, answer it. What do you think the output is? Instead of this is my static block, let me keep it very simple. What do you think the output is?
BS.
Okay. Let us come back to this. Execute. I used to tell very often, right? The execution will start from the main method, right? This is what I used to tell. If you run this piece of code, you would see something, right? B is getting displayed. You are not even calling this method. You are not even calling this block. How the B is getting executed? That is the question. What is the reason behind this? To understand this, again we have to understand about the control flow. I mean, from compilation till the execution. Okay. So let us say that this is our code. This is our Java code, right? Usually, it is getting stored or it is getting saved in the hard disk with the .java extension. So class name .java, college.java. So this is how the Eclipse is going to store this in the hard disk. Okay. The compilation will happen automatically. Okay, the moment you start writing the code, behind the scenes the compilation is happening without your knowledge. You don't see that, but Eclipse is doing the compilation, right? Eclipse ensures that the compiler is on and ready always. It is always activated. Whatever the code you are typing, compiler is doing its job. It is doing the compilation, right? So to complete the compilation, to do the compilation, compiler will have this access to the college.java file. Okay. This is what the compiler. Okay. So it will store the college.java file, whatever instruction that you add. Parallel it will do the compilation. Okay. Parallel it is doing means it keeps updating the .class file. College.java becomes college. Eclipse is doing the compilation automatically. Okay, this college.class, it keeps getting updated. Whatever you type here, it keeps getting updated. Okay. The moment you start hit the run button, okay, the moment you start hit what? You start hit the run button. Run button is something like a play button, isn't it? The moment it starts is the run button, JVM gets activated, isn't it? JVM get activated. Okay. The .class file will be consumed by the JVM. The .class file will be loaded to the JVM. This is happening just because you hit the run button. This is happening just because you have just hit the run button. The moment you start hitting the run button, the .class files, what are the .class files that is there? Okay, it will be loaded inside the JVM. Okay. There is a time, right? At the time of loading the .class file to the JVM. So this is the JVM. This is JVM. At the time of loading the .class file. Okay. You're hitting run button. The moment you hit the run button, .class file will be loaded. At the time of loading the .class file, if there is any static context, there is any static block. Okay, this is the static block. The instructions inside the static block will get executed. This happens at the same time of loading the .class file to the memory. When this .class file will be loaded, the moment you start hitting the run. This is the first step, right? Okay. Loading the .class file. will be happened by automatically. JVM will consume this dot class file. So this is the second step, right? This is second step. Okay. This is also the second step. Parallelly, it happens. At the time of loading this, static content will get recognized and executed. That's why output is B. Okay. Then the third step is main thread will be created. Third step is what? Main thread will be created. Okay. Third step. Fourth step is main thread get access to the main method. If there are any instructions in the main method, that will get executed. If not, fourth step will be completed and it will come back to the same place and everything will be restored. That's why you see B. The answer, final answer is, even before the main thread execution, even before executing the main method, if there is any static block, that will get executed. One more example we will see. Now tell me what would be the output.
BCD.
Correct. The static blocks are executed first, then the control will come to the main method, then the instruction set the main method will execute. Question in the interview, the question would be like, which will be given the highest priority? If I have a static block, if I have a main method, which one will be executed first? The answer should be what? Static blocks. Okay, simply I can write, you see a very static block. Okay, static blocks are recognized and executed at the time of loading the byte code to the memory. Indirectly it's saying at the time of loading the dot class file to the JVM. When the dot class file will be loaded to the JVM, the moment you start hitting the run button, the moment start hitting the run button, this will be loaded. That's why static block execute and again the static blocks will be executed only once. What does it mean? Only once means dot class file will be loaded only once. That's the reason why static block will be getting only once, right? Dot class file is getting loaded only once, right? That's the reason why static blocks are also getting executed only once. This is all about what? This is all about static blocks. Right, now tell me this tricky question. This is also a tricky interview question. I have a college class. I have the class A and static. Now tell me guys, what would be the output?
BC.
BC, yeah?
CB.
CB. BC, CB. Okay, let's see. Let's see which is whether it is BC or CB. Huh? Answer is only B. Interesting, no? My answer is only B. I'll explain you it. Sir, just now you said that static blocks will be executed before the main method. Now why the answer is a little bit contradicted? Why it is so? Let us analyze this together. We keep everything in one file. 1 minute guys. I did not copy it properly. Now you see, compiler is there. Compiler will do what? Will consume dot class file college.java, right? And it generates how many? I mean, dot Java file. It generates how many dot class files? 2 dot class files will be generated because in my college.java file. So this is the college.java file. .java file. You have 2 classes. One is college class and second one is A class, right? So A dot class and college dot class will be generated. Okay. The moment you start, you start hitting the play button, right? The run button. which dot class file will be loaded? Okay, the dot class file of the main method will be loaded. Main method is where? Main method is there inside the college class. Right? Firstly, that will be loaded on demand. This will be loaded. Okay. At the time of loading this dot class file, the static block of college class will get executed. That's why output is. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Yes, no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Because a dot class file is not yet loaded. It is outside. It is outside. It's not inside the JVM. Okay, now you tell me, with this knowledge, now you tell me System.out.println. Now you tell me what would be the output.
BCD.
B, B, C, D. Any other answers?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. BDC. Now why BDC? Let us investigate. Okay. The reason why we make mistakes just because we don't trace it. Okay, we just imagine it, but it is okay to trace it. Okay, this is the class now. Okay. So you have the dot class file. The compiler is coming to the picture. Compiler will directly generate what it is going to generate. Dot class file. How many dot class files? A dot class. Dot class. Okay, JVM is coming. JVM will come into the picture the moment you start hitting the play button. Right? So JVM is going to come into the picture, and the moment you start hit the play button, not B class, it's a college class. I'm sorry, my mistake. Minute. College dot class. The moment you start hit the play button, the class of the main method will get loaded, right? College class will be loaded inside the JVM. The respective static block will get executed. B. So B is the output. First output is B. Then the main thread will get created, right? Okay. Main thread will get access to the main method. It will get access to the main method, right? First instruction in the main method is what? D. Okay, D will be printed. Then you are creating an object for A obj new A. This object creation requires the dot class file to get loaded inside the JVM in the runtime. So this will be loaded now on demand. Okay. The respective static block will get executed. Are you getting everyone? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This is making sense, huh? Right? I will give you some problems on this. If you practice this, you will get much idea. So this is all about the static blocks. Static blocks, okay? Now what about the static methods, sir? Static methods. Any method, remove this. Any method with the static keyword is called a static method. For example, static void display System.out.println static method. Right? Let me say public. Any method with the static keyword is called a static method. How you can execute the static method? To execute the static method, you do not have to create an object, directly call the display method, because the main method is also static, right? The method display method is also static. So to call a static method inside another static method, you do not have to do what? You do not have to create the object. You can just call the method its name. That's it. To run this method. Second way is by using the class name you can call. Example, college dot method name. This is also one of the way. This is also okay. Third way is, okay, if you want to create object always, if you are obsessed with creating an object, you can do that also. Okay. So C dot, everything is fine. Three ways. Are you good? How to call a static method? By using the class name, you can call college dot display. Okay, by using the, by just using the method name you call, if it is in the same class, you can do this, or by creating an object also you can. What is the static method? Any method, the static keyword is static method. This is how you can call them. Making sense? Yes, no? Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now next thing is, can we overload static method? For example, this display is a static method. If I say this is interview question, public static void display. This is also static method which is accepting a integer argument. Int arg static. Question is, can we overload a static method? Yes, we can overload a static method. So you can call display method with no parameters. You call this no parameters. This will get executed. If you call this with parameters, relevant parameters, when I say parameters, relevant parameters, this method gets executed. Okay. Overloading is possible. Okay. Can we override static method? Overriding. Overloading is possible, overriding is not possible. It is not at all possible. Example, let's say that college is getting extended to, okay, let me say college class, okay, public static void play method System.out.println university display college display. Okay. Let us say that this is extending to extends to university, right? Basically, we are what is overloading is going to, it happens between the parent class and the child class, and you use the same method of the parent class and the child class. So when you create an object for the child class, to college, based upon the learning, what you are thinking that output is going to be based upon our learning till now with respect to overriding concept, what would be the output? Actual overriding concept. Anyone?
University display.
No, actual overriding concept. Or actual overriding concept. See guys.
College English.
When I don't have this, when I don't have the static keyword, actual overriding concept says the child class method will get executed, college display will get executed. This is what the actual overriding concept. Okay. Moment to start using the static keyword, okay, the methods become static method. Method becomes static method. Now you see, previously college method is displayed. Okay, for non-static methods, is following the actual overriding concept. But for the static methods, you don't call it as overriding. You call it as what? You call it as overriding. This is happening here. I'm sorry. Okay, not this one. This one. This one. I'm talking about this one. Okay. When I remove the static keyword, okay, parent class reference, child class object, parent class reference, and the child class object. Right. Typically, the type is university. Right. You're calling the display method on this type. It will check if the child has a display method. If the child has a display method, the priority will be given for the child method. college step. Okay, we want to start changing it to static. We want to start changing it to okay. Now the opposite will happen. Previously the concept is overriding. Here the concept is what? Overriding. This is called as overriding. Overriding. Because the resolution will happen under the compiler. Just opposite to the overriding. Okay, overriding means this has to get priority. Overriding means this will get priority. The parent class method will get priority. For overriding. Overriding means the child class will get priority. Overriding happens for the non-static methods. Overriding happens for the static method. The interview is asking a question like, is overriding is possible in static methods or not? Said no. Overriding is not possible for static methods. Instead of overriding happens. The parent class method will get executed. Concept is called as what? Overriding. Okay, the method resolution will happen in the compilation. Just practice this will get. Are you clear with overriding? Want me to explain once again? You want me to explain once again? Put explain, I will explain. Type explain in the chat box. Just the opposite, that's it. Okay, so this is all about what? Static. Okay, a static blocks we have understood, static methods we have just understood. See, can we override a static method? No, you cannot override a static method in Java. Why not overriding? Static method belongs to class, not the object. I have given some theory. It's called as method hiding or overriding. Example, public static main method. This example. Can we overload a static method? Overload is possible, just like ordinary method. Okay, apart from these, real life in static context, main method is static, right? Why main method is static? Because when the JVM start executing, the JVM is to start executing the main method without creating an object. Object creation should not be there. When the object creation, when a method is there, the static method is there, for the static methods, object creation is not necessary, right? That's why for the main method, the type is static. These are the examples I have given. Okay, you can just write it in the paper. We will discuss this collection topics in 2 or 3 days. Now, final keyword, right? Final keyword, I will give you the basic thing. Very simple. Final is very simple. When I say final keyword, when I say variable as a final, when I say variable as a final thing country equal to 0. Okay, you cannot change this. It is fixed always. For another example, let us say that you have a name or you have city, let us say Chennai. If it is not final, guys, if it is not final, I have an access to modify this. College C equal to new college. Okay. What I can do, I can modify this. C dot city equal to, instead of Chennai, if the person is moving to another city, I can do it like Hyderabad. If I just print System.out.println C dot city, okay, the variable is modified here to Hyderabad, but here you have Chennai, but the modification has happened here. But it is not possible to use the final keyword. It will not allow you to perform the modification. You are getting an error here. And it is final. Chennai means Chennai. That's it. You cannot modify it. The data cannot be modified. It is fixed data. It's a constant data. Right? For Aadhaar card numbers, you go with final. For things like that. This is with respect to final. Final variable means it is constant. Likewise, you have something like final method. For example, class university. I have a class university. Inside the university, I have a simple method like public display. University method. Okay. Inside the child class, I have the same method for the overriding. University. Okay. College C equal to new college. Okay, C dot. Okay. You know the output is university. I mean this is college, no? Then our output is college. Right? The moment you start using the final keyword, it means you cannot override it. The methods inside the child class, you are placing a restriction like you cannot, you cannot override that method. So this method cannot be overridden. Let's see, that's why you're getting error here. Remove final modifier of university display. Cannot override the final method from university. So if you want to place a restriction for a method, the logic of the method should remain same no matter what. No one should override that logic. That logic needs to be followed. You place that with final, means you are giving a restriction for overriding. You are ensuring that overriding is not happening. Right? Likewise, this is for methods. Methods avoid overriding. But for classes, right? When you say final class, okay, this final class cannot be parent to any other class. You cannot extend it. It says remove final modifier of the method. For the final class, you cannot use it as a parent. No other class can get extended to the final class. For final method, overriding is not possible. For final variables, it will remain constant. You cannot change this. This is all about the final keyword. Same thing I have given it. Final classes, final variables cannot be reassigned. Final method cannot be overridden. Final class cannot be extended. That's it. We are done with the topic. Tomorrow, encapsulation. Any queries for me?